Hi everyone, I just wanted to do a little video of the latest Slot.it 2024 Formula One car with an oxygen chip in it. So, put this back here. Nothing's been done to the car outside of put the chip in and scrub up the tires a little bit. Front tires have not been toured or anything. So here we go, let's see what happens.
4, 3, 2, 1.
$7,850. Track record is 696. 7,810. 7,580. Really good for a fresh out of the box car. Oops. No driver error there. Did fiddle around a little bit, took the magnet out. There's no magnet in this car. Seven, 8, 10. Really nice car. I didn't really put many laps on to clean up the track either, so, but I'm doing consistent 7.7, 7.8. Best is 7.580 so far. That was with tires cleaned up right away. But really nice car. And a unique way to put the chip in, it's instead of having two separate chassis as the last one, the chip is raised quite high above the aerodynamic strakes for the underfloor, which is kind of interesting. And it seems to work okay. I did carve out the chassis a little bit to make sure that the light could be seen. They only give you a little slit through it, and I was afraid that it wouldn't have enough to keep the lane changers working properly. But doesn't seem to be a problem. Suppose they should have tried it without tuning it out first. But as you can see, it's a nice car to drive. $7,660. Motor isn't even broken in yet, so. And these are stock tires. They're not G25s, I know that for sure. But they seem to be pretty adequate for this, for my track at least. But the track is rubbered in fairly well with G25 tires. I don't know if you noticed, but the driver isn't in there. He's in paint shop, getting his helmet painted. So I'll put that in there. They supply two drivers and cockpit pieces. One is a little bit higher to accommodate the, or a little bit thinner actually, to accommodate the chip that goes in the front. There's the capacitor sticks out into the cockpit, and they made provisions for that, so it's pretty well done. front end is a little bit stouter on this. The wheels hit the track. The adjustment for the front wheels has been moved to the outside rather than the middle of the car, so you can adjust both upper and lower axle light adjustments from outside the car without taking the body off, which is nice. But the suspension in the front is much, much better than the earlier Formula Ones that they had. The earlier Formula Ones, the front suspension was a little bit flimsy and they had some problems with it. So it's been slightly re-engineered. And kudos to Slot.it for doing such a good job on this. Well, still haven't gone any faster. Yep, we'll slide out in the front there. 720. Track's a little bit dirty. I haven't spent a lot of time cleaning it off before I ran these. I just ran a few laps, cleaned the tires, and put her on the track. Okay, that's about 40 laps in oxygen. Now, I'll give you an update on some of the other cars that I've gotten recently. And we'll switch to SSD for that. Most of you don't know that I've switched to PC lap counter for the SSD portion of the management, and it's been a good thing. So far I have no problems whatsoever. So I've got 3 cars that I've been putzing with a little bit. Well, 2 actually. These 3, the F1 that I just got, and then there's the Picani and Ford Mustang. And I'll do a little bit of disassembling in another video to show what the Mustang and the Formula One car look like. Both of these are chipped. The Mustang has G25 tires on it, which are glued and trued. Anyway, I'll run into PC lap counter and see if we can get this going. All right. Do race. We are already connected. I can see by the driver and team. That would be me, and the Shelby GT350 is already in there. We're not going to use fuel, so I'll make sure that's off. Yep, that's off. All right. Shut off the oxygen controller, the SCP3 to keep the battery in check. All right. Oop, I better clean the tires first. I haven't done that. Just a regular old never hair. There we go. 3, 2, 1. This car was a basket case when I first ran it. It was just awful. So it's had weight added to it. And, oh man. Guess I got a sticky track tonight. Or I should be a little bit more judicious before I get started. I'm used to the Formula One car was a little bit easier to run. wheels and gear have been changed on this, and tungsten weights added to the chassis, which I'll show you in the next video. The lights are the stock ones that Scalextric brings to. I sort of stopped buying Scalextric cars because they don't offer very good value, but this one, being a big Cobra and Shelby fan, I couldn't resist this one. It's a much better interpretation of the Mustang GT350 than Thunderslot's version, which is flattened and widened and done a lot too. This is a much more in scale car, but as a race car, it was a POS. A lot of times they're in line with the some of the Can-Am or Trans Am cars that I usually run. So, but it's a nice car once you get decent tires on it and put some weight in it to keep it down. I haven't put the interior back in it yet. I took the interior out because it's a full depth interior, and it seems to intrude somewhat in the body movement. So consequently, I pulled it out, lightened it quite a bit. It's about 8.5 grams worth of weight. And I'll put a tray interior in it, lightweight, either Lexan or a card with a driver and dashboard in it. That's standard methodology for me. Also, the guide has been changed. I don't like the Slot or the Scalextric guides at all. They're sloppy and difficult to work with. The braids are kind of stupid, and it's not optimized. So this one's been tweaked a little bit, but it's still a nice car. I mean, at least it's youthful. When the tires and stuff when I first got it were, I couldn't get it around the track without the magnet in. With the magnet in, it would go around the track. But without the magnet, it was impossible. I mean, every corner, even the smallest bit of power added would slide it out like crazy or flip it over, whichever. So it was not a good car at all. So I'm really pretty chuffed that we could get it to run this well. Okay, that's about 25 laps of that. You can see the only thing I think is that it's a little bit shallow. There's been some talk about the MR slot car Corvette having deep sides on it. This one, I think, is the sides are a little bit shallow. If you look at the position of the stripes and stuff on the real car, they could have brought this down a little bit to cover this better. But other than that, it's a pretty nice car. I put aluminum wheels on the rear and turned the original wheels down for inserts, and so they look pretty decent. But it's a nice car overall. Okay, the other car I've got is a Pagani. This one I've got a couple of these. There's this one here, and I probably plan to get another one to complete a set so we have 3 of them for the guys to race. I did my usual things on this as I glued the front, cut the front piece apart and glued the front on and the rear also, rather than keep the chassis and body in sort of a clamshell. So you can see where I've cut this sections out here and at the front. And I've done that with the purple one too, or the Violetta, I guess they say it's. But it's a pretty decent car. We'll start over. Well, yeah, I'll start over. So best we did there was 8.513. Okay. Oop, didn't clean the tires. These have the original wheels on, but not the original tires. But these are pretty decent cars. They're really fun. And you can see a little bit faster than the Mustangs. They're much lower and lower center of gravity. A little wider tire. The G25s on the Mustangs are 1171s, and these are 1172s, which I think are about 12 millimeters wide, 11.5 to 12 millimeters. While the a little bit overzealous there. But a really nice car, and I think with the three of them it'll be a really close race. Yeah, about an 8-second lap for these, which is decent. Not world shattering, but it's an easy car to control and nice. Having not glued the tires on, they're trued but not glued. I don't always glue them on plastic because it's such a bear to get the tires off if something goes wrong. And the performance is not so much that I can use them. The Mustang I glued and trued them because number one, they have aluminum wheels, and number two, I had a little bit of hop sideways from it, and gluing them seemed to cure that problem. Just got to use whatever you got. Okay, we'll do about 25 laps on this one, and if you can see, you know, I've got a 7.998, so I'm out of the 8 into the 7s and out of the 8s, so, and I didn't even clean the tires on this. Ooh, a little slide there. I pushed it too hard coming on into this out of the straight. Concentrate and don't go down the straight too fast, as I just did there, sliding the back end out. If I can keep my cool going through there, I can be a lot faster. Yeah, that cost me about 0.3 of a second, that one slide into that corner. Ooh, there was a... You can tell when I'm pushing it. 8271, under 8 today, but I can do a big slide there. Okay, it's a little different than what I usually do. We didn't have any racing this week because the boat guys had other things they had to do. So I figured I would put this out, and either later or tomorrow I will put a video out showing the internals of the Formula One car and the Mustang. So anyway, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you want some more of this. Let me know in the comments. Thanks.